Hey, hey, hey. So earlier today, I was having a real moment, a real emotional meltdown. And for a second, I couldn't figure out what was happening. But as I sat with it and I kept talking to myself as I normally do on any given day, I was speaking against my intrusive thoughts that I was having. And I was creating a video around what I was feeling, but because I was walking in traffic, it wasn't picking up the sound correctly, so I couldn't give you the real. I can't in this moment give you the real raw emotions that I was going through on that particular video. But I was having these intrusive thoughts, and as I was having the thoughts, I started speaking against them. And one thing that stuck out with me was I was saying that I needed to be more gentle with myself. And the moment I said that, I became so emotional, like so emotional. And I've realized that I don't show myself the gentleness that I deserve. And maybe somewhere in me, I feel like I don't deserve to be treated with gentleness because I've been so rough my entire life. And it's off of experiences, of course, but I've realized that I don't show myself gentleness, and I really haven't had anybody consistently show me what that looks like. So it's hard for me to give what I have not received. And that then led me to talk about my children and how I raised my children in so much aggression, meaning the anger that I had, it followed me through parenthood. And I was not abusive. Yes, they did get beatings, but when I disciplined them out of anger and frustration for whatever they may have done. And I think that is not a good place to discipline children from. I think I should have taken some time off from, step back. I mean, I didn't know this in my 20s. I didn't. But looking back, and I'm only saying looking back because I'm now comparing it to the age that I am now with a 4 year old. I'm 46 years old. I'm pushing 50. So I want to do things with my girl than I did with my boys. And be very clear. Every day I regret how I treated my boys. Once again, I wasn't abusive, but I wish I wasn't so mean. I wish I showed them just a little bit more love and compassion. I wish I showed them what was truly on my heart versus the exterior, what was playing out in my real life. And while I cannot blame me for my experiences, and how that made me show up for them, it doesn't negate the fact that I feel guilty for how I raised them. Now, leave it to them. Now they understand why I had to be so, what I was, my oldest at least anyway. Um, but it still doesn't remove the guilt that I feel. Now, fast forward to now, being a mother of a 4 year old at 46 years old after having raised three boys and they are all grown. I still find myself in that space of, once again, I don't want to keep, I feel like aggression is such a harsh word, but that's maybe what it is because it keeps coming up. Excuse me, aggression. And still, I have not been shown what gentleness looks like consistently. Now I've had people over the course of my life show me gentleness in some form or fashion, but that's sporadic. I don't know what it looks like consistently, and maybe that's what the emotional aspect of that is. And I'm getting a little emotional now, but earlier I could not get my words out correctly because I was so emotional when it hit me. Showing myself a little bit more grace and kindness and more love in this time and space is maybe what I need to be able to extend that to my daughter. So now I think what also got me was the overwhelm of it, because the first thought was, I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to show myself um, kindness and grace and more love. I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what it feels like. And I know when I get overwhelmed, I shut down, and I don't want to shut down. It seems like a lot, but then I started to understand that if I just start praying and start seeking that gentleness from source and from self, my higher self, and just take it one step at a time, I'll get there. And mind you, I'm not on my knees praying like I used to do in my Christian days. My walk is different. My talk is different. My thoughts are different. My perspective on the world is different. So I'm not begging and pleading anymore. I'm showing up as my higher self, as the best and highest version of myself, walking in this human experience. But I'm not praying out of, begging and pleading. I'm praying, seeking wisdom on how to do this, seeking understanding on how to be more gentle with myself, because the flesh don't know. My flesh don't know how to be more gentle. So as the spirit being may know, but I'm learning. I'm going through a process, and that's another thing that I'm learning, that everything is a process. Everything is a process. So I have to go through the process whether I want to or not, and learn that this phase in my life is a process. And I'm going to be gentle with myself throughout the process. Be gentle in knowing that this process is going to be a process. And one thing that I'm learning about myself, I love rituals. So now I'm going to infuse this into my life as a ritual, which I think will be fun for me. So while I'm learning and growing, I'm hoping I can help somebody else along the way. I just want to form that tribe where we're helping each other. In midlife is a, you know what. So I want us to be able to do this together. Show yourself a little bit more kindness today. Show yourself a little bit more grace. Love on yourself just a little bit more today. One step at a time. One step at a time. We'll get there together.